Was such a display really necessary, Selena?
You required a demonstration of the power of an incarnate, Nok'Raz. Your Daedra will reform.
You put too much faith in these abominations, Selena.
With the Riven Cataclysm, Fargrave will fall. And then, Nirn.
My forays into the Deadlands tend to be short, and I usually avoid places like this. So let's be quick, figure out what's going on, and get back to Fargrave as fast as possible.
This may be where Sister Saldina fled to after we disrupted her ritual at the Shambles bathhouse. Stay alert and be watchful, little mortal.
They're coming for us!
A blade-bearer weapon. Here, examine it, mortal. It is the blade-bearer's crest. This is not their fortress. Why would that broken sword be here?
They chased you up the Fargrave once. How many more failures must you endure, Selena?
Careful, Nok'Raz, or perhaps I'll point my incarnate in your direction.
I sense intruders in the keep.
Lyrinth and her minions. Incarnate, destroy them!
Deal with the incarnate, mortal. I shall do what I can to weaken it for you. I've summoned a pool of energy. Go into it.
Try breaking free! I wasn't worried. Were you worried?
The incarnate failed, Selena. You failed. Again!
You see failure, I see opportunity. Let's head to the Riven Cataclysm. I have a legion of incarnates to create.
We should leave too. Quickly, mortals, into the portal.
Glorious victory! Arox the Mutilator must scratch!
Sister Saldina. Twice now, you helped me stop her from harming Fargrave and its people. Thanks for that. I'm not sure why Lyrinth chose us, or what she really cares about in all this. But as long as the cult threatens my city, I'll stand by you. Yeah, I heard. I may not remember who I am, or where I came from, but I found a purpose in Fargrave. That's what keeps me going. Protecting the city and its people. I won't rest until we stop Sister Saldina and the Order of the Waking Flame.
Such violence! Oh, Master, you make me so proud! You dispatched that incarnate abomination with a ferocity worthy of Arox the Mutilator! And did you see the look on Nok'Raz's face? Like a lava crab crawled up his nose and died!
We stopped Saldina's ritual and forced her to retreat to Burning Gyre Keep. There, instead of allowing her to summon Nokroz's promised army, we defeated her incarnate. Now she's on the run, back to her Riven Cataclysm. That device intrigues me. And do not forget that Nirn is her ultimate target, little mortal. She plans to use Fargrave to sacrifice your realm to Dagon. But Saldina figured out a way to change the very nature of a Daedra. Truly change it. That bears further investigation. A question I must ponder. There are few places I can think of to hide such a device. None of them pleasant. And there are the Blade Bearers to consider. Why was their sword in the keep? For now, take this as a reward. That is the mortal custom, yes? Are you ready to resume our hunt for the Riven Cataclysm, little mortal? I assumed you'd want time to sample Madame Wim's delights, or explore the splendors of Fargrave. No? Very well. Let us go before more incarnates are unleashed upon the city. You are not wrong in your summation, but we are not without avenues to explore. Remember the broken sword hilt you found at Burning Gyre Keep? It carries the mark of the Blade Bearers clan. The Blade Bearers are a Dromora clan who forged their own path. They have no allegiance to Mehrunes Dagon, so I find it curious that their crest was found on a broken sword in the keep. I want to determine their involvement. With your aid, of course. The Blade Bearers are nomads, but we should find them at a settlement called Wretched Spire. That's in the Sever region of the Deadlands. We must talk to their kinreeve, Rinkias. I will meet you there. And bring Arox. We may have a use for him. Rinkias is a kinreeve of the Blade Bearers, a clan of nomadic Dromora who bow to no prince. Like the rest of his clan, he is fierce but values honor. He takes pride in his martial skills and the status of his kin. Mortals hold no interest for him. Friends? Hardly. That is a mortal concept. If I understand the idea, it implies affection, vulnerability. That you would attribute such an affiliation to Dromora is amusing. But I have known Rinkias for a long time. We have never been at odds. The Deadlands belong to Mehrunes Dagon, but places exist where his minions rarely go. Wretched Spire stands as a refuge of sorts. A settlement where Dromora without clans and escaped mortal slaves can eke out a meager existence, hence the name. As I said, the Blade Bearers are nomads who do not pledge allegiance to Dagon. As such, they roost in places that aren't under the prince's direct control. Wretched Spire is one such location. Rinkias' clan can usually be found there this cycle. He might be able to explain how his Blade Bearers came to be at Burning Gyre Keep. If Rinkias knows more about the Waking Flame's activity in the Deadlands than we do, perhaps he can tell us where Sister Saldina and her device are hiding. Then either Rinkias knows about the involvement of his kin, or he does not. If he knows, then he is an enemy, and we may learn something by questioning him. If he does not know, then he is a potential ally, and a powerful one.
You are unlikely to find any of Mehrunes Dagon's servants in Wretched Spire, Master. Long ago, the Prince of Destruction commanded that no Daedra among his legions should look upon that place, or even speak of it. He was quite insistent. Never heard of him, but I do not trust him. I will watch him closely, Master. Sniff out his intentions. I have a keen sense of smell in this otherwise pathetic form. I'd prefer to be huge and powerful again, of course. But this form has some uses. I do not know. Lord Dagon wasn't in the habit of explaining his commandments. I heard the entire town was dropped into the Deadlands from someplace else. But I was never curious enough to investigate further. Sorry to have failed you, Master.
Our work is only beginning, mortal. These incarnates threaten not only Fargrave, but your world as well.
I think I'll stay here while you, Lyranth, and the Talking Rat return to the Deadlands. A memory swelled up when the Collector examined my mask. It isn't clear and I don't understand it, but I want to try to recall my first few days in Fargrave. I'm not sure. The memory is only a fragment, and a jumbled one at that. Maybe if I retrace my steps, try to recreate my first few days in the city, maybe it will become clearer. All I know is, whatever Gazmod did to me, it shook something loose. The memory. I saw glimpses of an old man. I know him, or knew him, I think. And I saw other flashes. My first days in Fargrave. I think they're related in some way. I'm not sure if I want to thank the Collector or run a blade through them. You saw what they were like. Gazmod treated me as something to be studied. Never actually talked to me at all. Only my mask interested them. When they examined it, a memory shifted into focus, sort of. I think I'll be more help if I figure this out.
See, the last of the Fool Killers still consorts with mortals.
And I see a blade bearer who could use a new perspective.
You travel a strange path, Lyranth. I won't ally with kin such as you.
I was not offering an alliance. Mortals, speak to Rinkias. Tell him about burning Gyre Keep. Rinkias dislikes mortals and isn't thrilled to see me. No matter. He has a keen mind. He will see the benefit of sharing information. Talk to him and tell him what we found in burning Gyre Keep.
Mortals in the Deadlands exist only at Mehrunes Dagon's sufferance. They grovel in his cult, toil as his slaves, or skulk and hide in places such as this, in the hope he will forget about them. Which are you? And why do you seek the Blade Bearers? No Blade Bearer would willingly enter a fortress loyal to Lord Dagon. I'm in search of my clan members who disappeared, however. You say you found one of our swords at Burning Gyre Keep. Tell me, what do you know of the Order of the Waking Flame? An audacious plan? Mehrunes Dagon has swallowed mortal realms before, or at least a portion of them. Such as this settlement you see before you. You are fortunate that their plan failed. What brings you to the Deadlands now? Vengeance. If Dagon's servants struck down my kin to protect this device, I will punish them. But first, they must be found. My scouts followed rumors to Xynoez's jail and Jin's foundry before they vanished. I will begin there. You may accompany me. Jind is a Dremora kin marcher. She studies relics and devices. Xynoez is Zivilai. He studies pain. They are both subordinates of Valkanaz Novkroz, who you say you encountered at Burning Gyre Keep. When Dagon's purposes interfere with our own, we gladly fight his minions. Prince Dagon knows this and welcomes it. We have met the Valkanaz in battle before. This business of mortal secrets and missing Dremora is new, however. The Blade Bearers come to Wretched Spire every cycle. It provides a place to plot our next campaign against rival clans. When one of our war parties never arrived, I dispatched scouts to find it. They made one report. Then they too disappeared. Kinmarcher Jind oversees a foundry in the Sever, not far from Wretched Spire. Xynoez is a master of a jail in the Burn, a place of suffering. My scouts reported that both seek information about mortal dealings, each in their own way. It is unusual for two high-ranking lieutenants of Valkanaz Novkroz to suddenly concern themselves with mortals, yes. Novkroz has nothing but contempt for your kind. Is that all? I grow impatient.
You and Drinkias can chase his missing blade bearers. I will return to Fargrave to sift for rumors about Sister Saldina or the Cataclysm. And perhaps see if the Anchorite has remembered anything new. I will find you when your work is done. The blade bearers are notoriously wary of outsiders, and they distrust kin who have more flexible views about honor and proper behavior than they do. I walk my own path. Some Dremora find that strange. Ask me if I care. As much as you trust me. If his blade bearers come to grief at the hands of the Dagonists or Valkanaz Novkroz, then you share a common enemy. Remind him of that. A temporary alliance with the enemy of his enemy? That Drinkias can understand. News has a way of reaching the Nexus City. Perhaps someone knows more about the Cataclysms. Failing that, I intend to delve into the Anchorite's missing memories. Something about that doesn't sit right. She obviously knows more than she recalls.
Ika, Drozu, stay vigilant. It's possible our clanmates will return while I am gone.
Might be waiting for others of my kind to reform before going out into the plains once again, but do not mistake me for a coward. What do you want, child? That is not common knowledge. Why would Nas send someone as mortal as you to track it down? This is a mystery. Very well, you've intrigued me. Why should I tell a nerdling like you what Nas wants to know? I suppose that's true. Uxark went to oblivion with a smile on her face, knowing that the Plainstones would never be reunited. Now that they are, there's nothing stopping less reputable Daedra from soiling her treasure with their greasy hands. And they are both fools. Let me mark the portal's location for you. You've done me a free favor, mortal. When Uxark reforms, I'll know where the treasure is. We can reclaim it in bloody glory. I can't wait to cut Madam Wynne down.
What?
Wait, please. Just listen.
Gilfric sent you to haunt me, didn't he? Dubious hench ghost, this one is not fooled! Ah! Mercy! This one does not wish to become Gilfrex's ghost slave as well.
Just stop for one moment and let me explain.
Call off your attack, Ghost. Shirodar knows when he is caught, but have mercy. No matter the size of this one's death, Gilfrex gets nothing if Shirodar dies. You... don't? That one, the ghost, she said the same. But Gilfrex has his tricks. His thugs hunt this one like an animal. Shirodar does not know you, so he thought you among them. If you are not with Gilfrex, what do you want with this one? Mora, the Daedra who is most rude. To hear it from her, this one's fragrance would befoul all the corners of Oblivion. Never has Shirodar been so insulted. Sorry, Shirodar is too busy fleeing for his life to be of much help. Oh, if you were to get Gilfrex off Shirodar's tail, that would make you much more agreeable in this one's book. Shirodar is greatly in debt, but what Gilfrex asks for is beyond what this one can deliver. Perhaps you can remedy this. Gilfrex rules the Fleepit district, feeding on desperation and despair. Shirodar suspects he is not so important for a Daedra, but among the dregs of Wretched Spire, he is a king. This one should not linger in the Fleepits. He will hide outside. He is under the impression that this one can retrieve some foul Daedric trinket from a most dangerous place. This one is much more skilled at fleeing and cowering. Unfortunately, Gilfrex will likely kill Shirodar for refusing.
Let's find this Gilfrex and be done with it. You'll have to handle Gilfrex yourself, I'm afraid. They don't seem to be aware of me. Can't say I mind being beyond the notice of such low-life scum.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
My Lord Gilfrix, I just need more time.
Time. I have time. You do not. One day, filth.
You'll have to handle Gilfrix yourself, I'm afraid.
You're not one of my debtors. Yet. But everyone in Wretched Spire needs something, and I provide. So what can I do for you, poor mortal? Right to the chase. I hate that. I like to watch the needy squirm. Shiradar, for example. Big squirmer. You, not so much, I suppose. Is that why the cat sent you? As muscle? Raw deal. You'll never collect. Either way, I'm getting what I'm owed. The cat promised he could get me a little item called the Slave Choker from False Martyr's Folly. But it was all talk. If I don't have that collar by the time I find the cat, I'll make one out of his tail. Understand? It's not getting me any closer to the Slave Choker, that's for sure. Fine. I've wrung enough fear out of the cat these last few days to have my fill. It's overpowering the more subtle miseries I savor. His debt is cleared. Now go.
I guess this is a fight now.
Just stay put. My friend is never going to catch up if you keep running off.
But that is how Gilfrix catches up to this one too!
I told you, they've already paid off your debt. Would you please talk some sense into him? Shirodar's coming apart faster than I am. Well, that's what he'd like me to believe.
It's you. The ghost says everything is alright. Gilfrix no longer wants my tail. Or any other part of me. Is it true? Gilfrix forgave it? Gilfrix never forgives anything. Or perhaps Master Erwin was right. This one's fortunes can change for the better. Perhaps next time it will even be Shirodar who changes them. Well, you see, this one does not know the Master's ever-shifting path, so he cannot say for sure. But he does know that Master Irving planned to visit a new disciple. Or disciple-to-be, rather. Hykso, a skeptic of the Master's ways. This one will mark the place on your map. He is certain you will find the Stubborn One and Master Irving there. Unless Irving has already convinced Hykso and they have both moved on. No. Shirodar is sure you are meant to cross paths.
My Synchrosthesia is shifting again. That is so disorienting. This alignment is still unstable. I can already feel it slipping out of phase. Please, let's find Hykso before my condition worsens. I think I'm responding to the changes you're creating here. It's a miracle we've maintained a connection this long. I take it as a good sign that my Synchrosthesia is coming closer to alignment, even if it's unstable.
The ghost is no longer a ghost? Oh, it is just as Master Irving said. The possibilities are boundless.
The mortal appears. Surprising, but acceptable. I expected you to be killed on your way here. Perhaps you are more capable than you appear. This is the Foundry of Jind, kin marcher under Valkanaz Novkroz. Here she supervises Dremora who study and devise things of interest to the Valkanaz. Look for strange devices or documents about mortal machines in Jin's foundry. I will search for signs of my blade bearers and question any churls I find. There is a ritual site to the north. Meet me there when you finish searching the foundry. That would be an inefficient use of my time and abilities. Do not expect me to guard you, mortal, but if you die, as mortals are prone to do, I shall inform Lyrinth, at my convenience. I've had few dealings with Kinmarcher Jind, but I have reservations about any Dremora who dabbles in mortal inventions. It is an unseemly habit. Dislike? One must be familiar with something to dislike it. I am unfamiliar with your kind, and not especially curious. You are simply unimportant. I mean no insult. I'm sure you are very important to you, as far as mortals are concerned. Comfort is not a concept I give much thought to. It is something mortals seek, to protect them from fears and cares. Or so I have heard. Dremora know little of fear, so the relative merits of being comfortable or uncomfortable are meaningless. I will only wait for a brief period at the ritual site after I complete my own investigations. Search quickly if you wish to compare notes.
That Ringkaius doesn't know what to make of you, Master. He seems like the suspicious type.
I hope you're watching.
A strange drawing, Master. Does Jind intend to construct this thing? The mortal woman dares command Jind? And Nokfroz? Arrogant. Why does she need so many Dremora?
You lead.
Master, I sense a death stone. If you find it, we may learn something. There it is. Touch it, and you hear the victim's last thoughts.
I never lied.
The best death stones.
Even if I did translate the notes stolen from Sister Saldina. Narkrovs thinks he can make his own catalyst. Let them kill me. He'll never match Sister Saldina's brilliance.
Nokfroz seeks to undermine the mortal Saldina. Two factions vying for Lord Dagon's favor. Let us hope for rivers of blood.
Off with you, Swit! Keep your guard up until you've got your footing.
I thought Jind would slice your flesh to ribbons. You are sturdier than you appear. Mortals have too many expressions. Your face tells me nothing. Did you find anything at the foundry, or did you fail at your task? For what purpose? Prince Dagon commanded Valknaz Novkraz and his subordinates to assist the mortals of his waking flame cult. Or so I heard. If the mortals devised a tool for the prince's use, why would the Valknaz need one of his own? This reeks of mortal lies and trickery. Mortals do not enslave kin. And yet, I found signs left by my blade bearers. Kin of many clans gathered here before they were taken somewhere else. Yes. Kin are not to be used by mortals. The very thought offends me. I must find signs of my missing clanmates. Meet me near the jail of Xanawaz. The area features many deep ravines. Do not fall into one and die. You are not a blade bearer. You have no means to perceive the secret symbols of my kin. We are of oblivion, made of its substance. It is a simple thing to leave an impression that others of our clan can sense. We are blade bearers. All the kin of my clan are pact-bound one to another. The clan pact unites us in purpose, attunes us to each other. I know my kin, and can see what they wish me to see, others cannot. It is a connection that can never be broken. The clan pact shapes us. It defines our essential nature. Bladebearer is not an allegiance, it is what I am, what I ever will be. Should this form be destroyed, I will respawn in a new body. But the clan pact remains. We do not die, mortal. We will investigate the Zivilai, Xanawaz. I will meet you there, if you survive the journey.
Let's ride!
Hixo, was it? No need for any hostility. Well, that makes the risk of bodily harm moot. Hixo does not seem the talkative type. Careful. If you anger him, there's not much I can do to help you like this.
What maggot? Master of lies. Irving says even stone softens when needed. Nonsense. Things made strong are strong. Things made weak are weak. Prove the strength of his words. Otherwise, Irving is nothing to me. And so are you. Show me the strong stone that becomes soft, the hard stone that becomes brittle, the weak stone that becomes strong. Show me that you and Irving are worth hearing. Then I might answer you. You aren't, unless there is truth in Irving's words. If there is proof to be found, you will find it near the Dremora outpost to the west. Now go. Die to the strong, maggots.
I'm sure Master Irving was speaking of volcanic rocks with this analogy. There must be geological activity nearby that would prove his point. See if you can gather stones that are as Hixo described.
Anyway.
Over here. Did you find the stones? Hixo should be along. It'd be hard to miss. Oh, well, he's arrived.
Feeling chatty?
I think Hixo's very annoyed that he can't hurt me right now. Don't keep him waiting, or he might turn that frustration toward you. I think...
Maggot, you return. It is as Irving said. Strong becomes weak. Weak becomes strong. Change is inevitable. These stones prove the strength of his words. I did not understand him. Now, I do. Irving awaits you to the south. Grow, maggot, into something strong.
I'm really glad your mood improved before this happened. What's the saying? One step forward, 2 steps back. I feel like I'm on the end of a pendulum. It's getting ready to swing back. Hard. Let's hurry to Master Irvank. Hello? Who's speaking? Wait. Master Irvank? Is that you?
I've been expecting you to. Your friend is ever present here. Everywhere and nowhere. Too used to order, and now drowning in chaos. My words fall on deaf ears, but my thoughts find an open mind. I cannot send them far and wide, but when I am close to one who desires understanding, I will be heard. No, though it's possible all bacon could do this. It's possible you can do this. Anything is possible. Reaching that possibility, much less likely. A complex course along the path of change can be a longer journey than most are willing or able to make. You yourself, are bound by the length of your life, and must plot your course accordingly. I cannot change her, but she can change herself. She seeks to master the 11th Force, but you do not master change. She must let go of this urge before the current she fights against drown her. The bat is born to fly, but still must learn to glide upon the wind. She cannot force the sky to carry her where she desires. She must learn to follow the winds of change before she can guide her course.
Not what I expected, but then nothing about this journey has been thus far. The Banekin's, Master Irvank's voice comes through clearly, but I don't understand. He's telling me he can't correct my alignment with this realm. I don't know. I'm stretched so thin. Just holding on to some semblance of reality all this time has been exhausting. I don't think I can go on fighting like this much longer. If a master of the 11th Force can't fix this, what hope do I have? I can barely think straight anymore. If you have any brilliant ideas, I'm open to suggestions. Yes, you're right. I'm a Psijic. I know myself better than anyone. If anyone is going to pull myself together, it should be me. I am the master of myself. It's too much. I can't keep fighting it. I have to let go. I feel it. Pulling. Pushing. But I can flow with it. I can align with it. At last. I'm whole again. I can't begin to describe how unpleasant it is to be strewn across the cosmos. I think my sense of touch was underwater half the time. And my teeth feel like I've been sleeping with my mouth open. Yes. I understand how to keep this realm's chaos from pulling me apart now. I'll be fine, thanks to your efforts as my proxy. If I had to be out of phase with reality, I'm glad you were there to help me. Please, accept this with all my gratitude. Well, of course, it's not so easy to let go of control when your entire existence is in jeopardy. Then I think you have a great deal to learn about the mortal condition. I can share the finer details later. This was quite the learning experience. Not what I had in mind when I embarked on this journey, but informative nonetheless. I do look forward to some less hands-on exploration of the 11th Force for now. I'd like to travel with Master Irvank for a bit, if he'll allow it. Despite appearances, I think he'll make an enlightening guide on this journey of mine. There's always something more to learn, unless you're a fool. Today I merely learned how to keep my head above water. Tomorrow, I practice swimming. Benkin are not thoughtful by nature, nor do Daedra change easily, even in a realm as turbulent as this one. To be so different from others of his kind, it proves just how far he's come on his own journey. He's earned the title of Master.
And so, students of change, you have learned the most important lesson. I hope you continue to follow its course, learn its ways, and come back to teach me something new. Practice. Most do not ever feel the flow of the 11th Force. But once you become aware of the motions of change around you, you need only feel them and observe. Eventually, they speak to you as they do to me. I merely speak in terms you are familiar with. But these are new ways of thinking for me as well. I do not see everything through 11 lenses as your friend does. Perhaps I will peer through them for a while and learn something new.